I looked again at the photo I found in the house. The couple looked distant, like they didn't want to be in the same picture. I wondered where the wife was. My leg was in terrible shape, but I had to get out. Oh, whoops. Interesting. Footprints in the dirt. Looked like more than one kind, and a lot of traffic. Places all over were marked on the old map of town. The industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near the old rail station. Newspaper clippings from the local paper. They were all about murders in the town over the last few years. Wait, there were photos. Photos of our house. What the hell was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more. Tried to find some kind of information. A work table, covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hated guns. I didn't take it, did I? Nah. I didn't even want to touch the thing. Better I left it right where it was. So I'm making some different choices than before, except for the mouse. It was so dark down there, and the air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? Kind of crazy dungeon. The desk looked old and was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old, faded paper covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out, and illegible notes were written beside them in faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. None of it made any sense to me. Well, that's a great sign. There looked to be bones half dug into the ground, and the remains looked old. The faded clothes that stuck up amongst the dirt looked familiar. They looked like the clothes that woman was wearing in the photo I found. Was this the man's wife? I don't really want to find out. Some kind of homemade rack, slung together with poorly cut wood and rope. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? Yeah, they did. The smell in that room was like old grease and rot. I wasn't getting any closer to finding anything useful, except meat hooks. Rusted hooks, like the find you'd find in a butcher, hung from the ceiling. They looked pitted and worn from heavy use. That man upstairs, did he do this? I was getting more nauseated the longer I stayed there. I felt sick and weak, like I hadn't eaten for days. Crudely made shelves. They looked like they were holding cans of some kind of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. To dissolve the bodies? The slight fumes that still emanated from the cans made me dizzy. Oh, it looked like a cage? It was small, but there was something coating the bottom. Something wet. That place was getting worse all the time. I knew I had to keep moving. I thought that rock was a person for a second. Some kind of old boxes. They looked like they were years old. Wait a minute. These boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remembered throwing out after Rachel and I moved to town. What the hell were they doing there? Hey buddy, why do you throw your clothes out after you moved to town? You're doing it backwards. If I was scared before, I was terrified now. Why were there photos of our house there? And these clothes? Was that why I was there? I checked my back pocket and realized my wallet was missing. Did I come to that house, or did somebody bring me? Yeah, this is interesting. This is a very different story than the one I'd run into before. Oh, my friends the bats. Hi guys. I actually like bats, so whatever. I remember noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. Yeah, I like to play this game keeping his leg in mind, and being as gentle as possible with it. I don't know, I kind of have a bum leg sometimes too. Oh no! There was a rope hanging there. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take it? Yes. Maybe the rope would make that broken ladder easier to descend. Why? The rope I found would have let me climb down the broken ladder safely. Did I climb down? Yeah. I could hear a faint hum, and the smell from before started to get worse. A bunch of old newspapers, neat pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared on it. "Keep out! Danger due to cave-in!" I wanted nothing more than to get out of here. It's so loud and scary. Oh. My hands tingled from the burn of sliding down that rope. It was lucky I found that. Who knows what would have happened if I had jumped down. In some places that's called attempted suicide. Still, it was all I could do to not have rushed out of that awful place. That rack, those terrible tools. What the hell was going on back there? The metal door groaned as I leaned into it, causing my heart to skip a beat at the sound. As I peered ahead into the dark of the next room, I worried that I should have taken that gun I saw, but me with a gun? An exposed ventilation shaft. Maybe someone crawled through there? But it was so high up. That must have been a sore landing. My leg ached just thinking about it. Yeah, buddy, 'cause there's no connection there. There was dirt on the ground. It looked wet, and there was grass smeared within it. The only thing I don't like about there's like this couple parts in this level in particular where there's noises and you get scared and let's see what's going on up here. Disgusting. It was a mess of filthy garbage bags. There were rips and tears in most of the bags. What looked like an old videotape was sticking out. Did I take the tape? Yep. I wasn't sure what I hoped to discover with the tape, but I took it anyway. Gross. Oh, just got a video of someone pooping. It's like... Oh, my cat just made a cute noise. I could hear a faint trickling sound, like water. What was that? Terror. It's the sound of terror and evil. There was a rusty ladder sunk into the water, which smelled disgusting. I knew I couldn't climb down that. Maybe I could find a way to drain the putrid water. Maybe. Or maybe you'll die here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm sorry, actually. A kitchen knife, covered in drying blood. Thinking about it made me sick. I didn't even want to touch it. Did I take the knife? Nope. I was relieved to leave the filthy knife right where I found it. Oh, man. Yeah, this little setting in particular in the game brings you a lot of really intense noises. Like that! The door was locked. There was a musty smell from inside. Let's see. I wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked. Okay. I thought I could turn this water valve to shut off its flow. Did I turn it? Yeah. Looked like it turned off the water flow in this valve. Okay. Let's see. Yep, turn it. Still active. Turn it again. Yep. Let's see. And yep. And it's done. Okay, that one's off. That's off too. Did I turn it? Yes. Oh, okay. Okay. Going through the doors. We're going through really slowly. Somewhere in here, there's something to play the videotape. I just can't remember where it is. I can't remember if it's before or after. But anyway. Looked like the water drained out of that grate in the wall. Oh, aren't you a genius? Huh. There was a small metal key left floating in the shallow pool of rancid water. Did I take it? Yeah. I pocketed the small key, but it was so odd-shaped I had no idea what it might be. Who puts a door underwater? It doesn't even make sense. The safety poster had definitely seen better days. How old was that facility? Old enough for some crazy person to set up like a killing person rabbit. The door was locked. I could see a faint light within. Well, that's not a bad sign at all. Let's see. There was a security camera in the room. There must have been a way to see what had happened. Maybe the VHS tape I found could be useful. And there's some guy murdered. I found another dead body, a sewer worker. He was a mess, but he looked like he'd been stabbed. I could see a key ring that had fallen out of his pocket. Did I take it? Yes. I worked up the nerve to snatch the key ring away and put it in my pocket. I was feeling even more sick from seeing another dead man. I didn't want to get any more blood on my clothes. Okay, so let's go take a look at those other doors that we found. Let's see. There's actually a couple that we've found. I used the keyring to unlock the door. Oh! The shelf full of security tapes was strictly organized, though covered in dust. It looked like the tape I found was the one that was missing from the shelf. Okay. There was a dusty VCR on the security desk. I wondered what was on that VHS tape I found. Did I play the tape? Yeah. Oh no! It looked like there could have been two men. I couldn't stand to watch that video again. Y'all are murderers. We're just walking around with millions of murderers walking around. Surprise! The whole town is murders! It's like if Dexter was a thing, except instead of just being justice-driven, everyone was always murdering each other because they were all killers. Something like that. I tried a bunch of the keys on the keyring that I had found on the sewer worker, and one of them seemed to fit. That's not a good sign. Oh no. Oh no. A faded receipt was half trampled on the floor. It was from the local train station and was for 2 tickets. I didn't know what use it could be. But did I keep the receipt? Sure. I neatly folded the soiled receipt and slipped it into my front pocket. Y'all are crazy. The wall was littered with dozens of old, faded papers. Whoever did this was obsessed with some local murders. Couldn't possibly be because he's murdering anyone. According to some of the clippings, bodies had been found in ravines, in the forest, and in one case, dumped in the back of an abandoned truck. I couldn't be sure, but I thought some of these same articles had also been pasted up back in those tunnels. A collection of stale liquor bottles covered the floor. Oh, liquor? What happened in the world? Good for you. Let's get the fuck out of here. I am done. I'm done. I hate steam tunnels. I hate steam. Okay, leaving. We're getting out of here.